The future of the I-526 extension project has been revived. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I sit down with one of the 526 supporters, Charleston County Councilwoman Anna Johnson. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. And listen to this interview later on iHeartRadio. Councilwoman Anna Johnson, it's so good to see you again.
Great to see you.
I appreciate it greatly.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Always good to be here.
Oh, likewise. 2 weeks ago I was looking for you.
Well, I'm here now.
And you brought some good news because yesterday everyone's from Charleston County Council all the way to the islands are celebrating the news that the 526 completion project discussions are back on.
Oh yes, we're very excited about that.
And tell me, what it's like for you, Councilwoman Anna Johnson, going forth?
Well, I always thought that this day was going to come, that things would be put back on the table for 526. I never gave up on that. And so to hear that it happened yesterday is nothing but moving forward, moving forward, moving forward.
And let me go to the other side, the Coastal Conservation League. As you know, they put out a statement yesterday, and they basically said this quote: "This decision is a setback for state taxpayers. I-526 is not a state priority. It is not a local priority. It is a fiscally irresponsible project that would not fix regional traffic problems and threaten sensitive natural resources." When you hear that, what do you say?
Well, I say, for the people on Johns Island, the majority of them, this is a #1 priority for them. And they can only get it done through their county representative and the state representative. So the people already have said they want 526 by their vote. And so it's up to us to carry that vote out.
And they also said this too, quote, "Charleston County Council member Elliott Summey, acting without full council approval, and Governor McMaster just signed county residents up to pay for this unpermitted monster project for generations to come. What's worse, they're risking critical future funds to address local needs like flooding and traffic relief, all for 8 miles of pavement and political pandering by the governor." Can I ask you something?
Okay.
They're saying here, Charleston County Council member Elliott Summey acting without full council approval. Is that true?
Acting to do what?
It
What
says.
are they doing?
Oh.
That the council doesn't know about.
Okay.
Well, we already knew about
Okay.
trying to move forward with this.
Okay.
The majority of the council members already gave our attorney the steps, okay, and the authority to move forward. And so if other council members found a way for us to be able to get things speed up, why wouldn't we take advantage of that? And so he's not making a decision for us, because everything that is done has to come back to county council, and that's why we had the meeting last night.
Right. And let me go back to August 25th, 8th, that is August 28th. I know Bank Board Secretary says that Henry McMaster, Elliott Summey, and the Bank Board Chairman met on August 28th to come up with a way to revive the agreement to build 526. He says the county that is, agreed to basically up the contribution from $117 million to $305 million. Tell me why $305 million?
Well, I know that it's been said that the project is more than $420 million. And so, yes, we have heard that it would probably be something like $750 million, but nobody knows that for sure. And so we're not going to know that until we at least move forward, because the people in Johns Island don't need to be held at bay just because the Conservation League feels disappointed, and they keep trying to throw some kind of spoke in the wheel. They don't need to have that.
And I know that Hugh Leverman made it clear that the Joint Bond Review Committee would have to approve any disbursement, as the original approval was for a much different project. And some believe that Charleston County would never see a dime for this. What do you say to that?
Well, I say I'm going to leave that part to our attorneys. He's able to work around those things. That's his specialty. So.
And let me move over to your re-election campaign. I know that you called me a week ago and said you watched your opponent's interview with me.
Oh, yes, I did.
And you wanted to explain, get the straight answers out. Can you set this record straight as we sit here?
Okay, there's one thing I was very concerned about that I heard was mentioned is the roundtable discussion. And that's something that I've been doing on my own ever since the first year I got elected. So that's a discussion that we have at the library, public library. Any citizen in Charleston County who wants to come in and participate can do that. That's held at 12:30, usually the fourth Wednesday in every month. And so we have a special topic that we talk about. And at that time, information is given to the community from our staff in relationship to what people want to know about. So if they want to know about public works, or they want to know about community services. And the last time we had voter registration. The director from the voter registration office was there. And we had a really great discussion on different things that had to do with not just pushing the button, but talk about the absentee, talk about how the polling places, how the districts, that came up. People want to know how those districts get divided, although it's not done by the director. But those are concerns that people have. So just, made a really healthy conversation about the interests of voting.
And when you finished looking at that particular interview, anything stuck out in your mind as you were sitting here right now?
Well, one thing that stuck out in my mind, I thought when I heard Mr. Boykin talk about the 526, I said, well, now he seems to be on board. But the first interview that he had with you, I don't know, he was kind of lukewarm. I thought he really was not for 526, so I don't know. But I have been a supporter of 526 the entire time and kept moving it forward, and I'm looking for the day that it gets completed.
And you have here on your particular flyer, you said this: concern, ready, experienced, and proven. How concerned are you about your future as far as leading this particular district? And how ready are you about the future of your district that you serve right now?
I'm concerned because the local or grassroots communities, I feel like, have been neglected. And so during my period on council, I've worked to try to help build that up and build a sustainable community. And so, yes, I'm very concerned about that. And to show you an example, what we've been doing is helping people that had the dirt roads. I had people complaining that they couldn't get to their house. A lot of times they were parking their cars at the head of the road where the pavement is, and then walking down to get to their house. Or the EMS couldn't get to their house. And so that was a really big concern for me. Something that people don't think about is a simple thing like having your house number put on your house, for instance. We had to go through some communities that had their numbers a little bit mixed up. Sometimes you have high numbers, low numbers, and a high number again. So when these emergency vehicles are going through the neighborhood, coming EMS, then or fire department, they can't locate people. So that's a very important thing, to have visible numbers and have it in a place that it could be readily read, so that you can get the service as quick as possible. So that's that's another thing, and we've done some. I got a lady right now I'm helping on Eddystone with her house. She wanted to get a floor repaired.
Wow.
So and she's a senior citizen on a fixed income. So there's a lot of things that is needed in our community, and I'm not saying that we have the money to do all of it, because we don't. But we do use the HUD money that county gets to help with those kinds of situations that people have.
And describe to me the following one word: the Maybank Highway widening.
Oh yes, now that is I think has really been a great project, because some years ago the Maybank Highway was supposed to be 4 lanes, and we had a problem with the city not wanting to have that highway widen because of the trees, etc. And so money was then taken away from the project by some of our other council members. And here's the situation with all of this traffic congestion going on. So staff approached me about, well, can we do a possibly a third lane. And sounded like a great idea, and I went along with that, wanting to pursue that. And so we've got a third lane there. Going out of the city is the second lane, and then coming into the city is just one lane. But now you don't see the long line of people trying to get on Johns Island from James Island. I went through on one day this week, and I tell you, I just went through like a breeze. No traffic jam anyway, straight on through to River Road from James Island.
Right.
And continuing on to Betsy Carson. So I know that's a big plus. I've gotten a lot of people calling to say how the traffic jam, you know, and the safety there has improved so tremendously. So that was a great thing. Now, my future thing is to really widen the next side of Maybank Highway,
okay,
so that we can have the full lanes that should have been there in the first place. So that's coming up very soon, so you got to watch out for that.
And I know another concern of yours is the main road widening as well.
Yes, that's another concern. And you know, when we had the Hurricane Matthew situation, there was some flooding there. And so the area at Main and Highway 17 is pretty low. Now we have the money to do it because of the sales tax money.
Right.
So we're going to be working on widening. That's already, you know, in process for them to start that. So hopefully, well, I heard that there's something going on in Washington that may allow us to be able to make this happen faster than, you know, 7 years. So hopefully it might just be 3 or 4 years. And then we plan to do it in segments.
Okay. And speaking of faster, let me talk to you about the Aerospace Training Center at the Triton Technical Campus.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, that is a project that Ms. Thornley came to County Council, you know, wanting us to help with the training center there. We're bringing in people like a company like Boeing,
Right.
and even with, well, that's for the air planes. But when you don't have a workforce that is prepared to do the work for these businesses that are coming in, then you have to train the people. And so that's what we're doing, and so we helped to facilitate that, where she could get the money to get this aerospace building built. So we're looking forward to next year.
And you talk about next year, if you are to be elected on re-elected, that is, on County Council again, what will you do on day one?
Well, on day one, I think first I'm going to look to make sure that 526, whatever we need to be doing on 526, that's being done, because that's my #1 priority. So in about 45 days, I think we were supposed to be going back to the table to finish up with what we need to do with 526 forward to continue to move forward. So that's the #1 thing for me.
To be continued. Yes,
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Well, Councilwoman Anna Johnson, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this.
All right. Well, thank you, and it's great to come by and see you.
Anytime.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.